What do you buy yourself if you're looking for the premiumness and luxury of a European car, but the reliability of a Toyota? You buy yourself a 2018 NX300, but this is like a special NX300 because this is the F-Sport edition. And today, you're going to look at how it looks on the exterior, the interior feel and space, the practicality at the boot, and most importantly, what is under the hood. Let's get into this epic, awesome review on another episode on Conversations Kanisa. And as always, special thanks to KDG Imports for lending us this unit for a proper review. Kimbia pale opposite Prestige along Gong Road. They have a variety of units all the way kutoka kwa budget ya chini to their highest level. If you're looking for ZX, they have a white one. Kimbia pale tafuta Ibra, he'll hook you up with awesome deals and give you a proper discount if you invoke my name. Let's get into this special review. If you're out looking for a compact SUV, of course, the NX300 provides a proper value proposition, a bit of luxury, a bit of styling, and overall a reliable car to keep on the road against cars like the GLC, the XC60, the Mazda CX-5, and all those cars in that group. Below this one, unapata the UX, which competes with the Vezels, the XVs, and sort of those cars. And then above this, you get the RX, and then juu yake you get the LX, which is very fantastic and awesome. Now, if you're planning to buy this car, it comes with 3 trim levels. So you can get the NX300 normal, okay? Then you get the NX300H, which comes with a hybrid motor and a battery. And then above that, you get the NX300 F-Sport, which is this one that sits or stands next to me. Being a 2018 year, previously from 2015 all the way to 2017, this car came with a badge, the NX200T. So from 2017 kwenda 2018, it was changed to conform with the Lexus naming nomenclature. So there is no longer an NX200T. Now we only have the NX300 kwenda mbele. And this is the sportier version. And being the F-Sport, there are a few things that it has gotten in terms of the exterior design and looks that makes it unique and special. One of them being a unique set of the spindle grille, which is signature to any Lexus. This is slightly bigger. Then you have this a gray metallic finish hapa chini, which again uniquely is for this F-Sport model. You don't get this on any other model. Now, even the front fascia, it has been made to be aggressive and sporty because it's an F-Sport. That's what you get. So if I put the other cars next to this one will come out as aggressive and sporty. Of course, you still have brushed aluminum that is dark in color. Very interesting and nice to the eyes. And then uniquely now, you also get a set of LED headlights. This one you have 3 tips and 1 extra here, which is big. And then you have your daylight running strip here, which also doubles up as an indicator. Then you get your fog lights here, which are active. So you take bends, it lights up to illuminate your way as you drive towards that direction. Awesome and beautiful. Now, the design language of this car is flowing. What do I mean by flowing? If you look at how this design comes here, it flows into the body at the top. And then when you come on the side again, it flows into the side. That is a unique element of any Lexus. Now, coming to the side profile, again, unique setup that you get on the F-Sport only. You get size 18 wheels. Remember, this color is the same aluminum finish color that you get on the front grille. You remember the strip that is running around the spindle grille? Yeah, the same brush finish. That's what you get on these. Disc at the front, disc at the rear. Now, being an F-Sport, again, before I talk about the suspension, the ground clearance, it also comes with a unique set of side mirrors. Now, these are blacked out. The normal ones don't come with blacked out side mirrors. This is special, unique to the F-Sport. Interesting. Then, of course, you get your F-Sport badging. Kuconfirm ya kwamba clearly you're having an F-Sport. So in terms of suspension, this F-Sport actually comes with adaptive variable suspension, which is reserved for big boys in the game like Lexus, but we get it on the F-Sport trim of the NX200. A blacked out trim to protect your body as you drive this car to your adventure places. And just look at the side profile of this car. It's aggressive, it's sporty, just looks nice. It speaks of opulence and styling. Beautiful and awesome. Now come to the rear. Now, one thing I'll tell you again is part of the redesign from 2018 going forward is we got a new set of headlights, pale mbele, which are LED, and you also get a new set of rear taillights, which are LED. Awesome and beautiful. They have been edged out and carved out to bring out that aggressive nature. Now down here again, this is unique to the F-Sport. It's like a small rear spoiler with like a splitter, 2 exhaust tips, which are nice, and this blacked out parking sensors at the front, parking sensors at the rear as well, and then you get your NX300 badge and the Lexus. Mtu akikufuata nyuma, they confirm you are driving a Lexus, ndio? And before I get into the practical space that we have hapa nyuma kwa boot, I will let you know that you can get this car in 2 configurations, either AWD or front wheel drive. The good thing is this particular one you're reviewing today is AWD or 4-wheel drive, okay? And the interesting thing is it is front-based bars, you only kick in the rear when you need it to, when you lose traction, which is good and awesome. Now because it's a Lexus, there are things that you'll not struggle with ukitaka kufungua boot, so you have to do the thing, and yeah, with your leg, and the boot will come up. Now it reveals you to a very practical boot space. However, I will note that the GLC in this class provides a huge boot space than this one, but it's decent enough. The only thing that I'm surprised with Lexus is, unlike many cars, the rest of them have a plastic boot cover hapa hivi, but Lexus have decided to give you actually a hard, cover, which is awesome. But the good thing is I've also given you a place where you can store it nicely so that you can enjoy. Yeah, it fits in quite nicely. Look at that. Sasa hapo unapata boot space mzuri sana, which is very good. And as extras, as you're carrying your luggage, you have points you can anchor and tie your luggage. And then you have a 12-volt socket here in case you need to power, auxiliary power, other anchor points hapa hivi. There are so many. You can put so many here on this side, that side. However, there are a few things I love about this car and I don't like. One of them that I like is the fact that you have a very huge subwoofer speaker hapa nyuma. And I'll talk about the infotainment system that you have in this car because it's a special one. It sounds dope. The other thing that I like is the fact that even though this is a Japanese spec, so you don't get your full or space-saver spare wheel, but there is space. You just have to delete a lot of plastics here, that you can get yourself enough space to save yourself the energy of working with tire repair kits, wake up a full spare wheel. However, one of the things that I don't like is the fact that I cannot recline the second row of seats unless nisunguke huku yote, and then I have to pull this lever for that to happen, okay? And those seats go down a quarter, 3/4, which again provides more elegant space for your storage. But the fact that I can't do it from the rear, when all the other cars provide like a small thing that you can just press and the seats go down. Hapo Lexus kidogo alitucheza, ama wataki kunje viti, sindio? Let's check out the front of this car and see what is under the hood and how does that power translate down to the 4 wheels. I'm so very much happy because what is under the hood of this car is what in short I will call a technologically advanced setup that is so interesting. Like this is where Lexus and Toyota are flexing, and I'm happy that today we are going to define every element of what we get under the hood of this car. Now, for purposes of clarity, this is a 2-liter petrol turbocharged engine that Toyota calls the 8AR because it's a turbocharged, will have an extension FTS. That's like normal Toyota engines that have turbos. So FTS pale mbele inakuanga for turbocharged, okay? Now, it's paired to a 6-speed automatic, not CVT, please. Remember, we've just moved from the 200T, so it means this is coming with a turbocharged petrol engine and a 6-speed automatic. C or CVT, very important. Of course, the automatic is courtesy of Aisin. Aisin is a subsidiary company of Toyota, and for the longest time, they've been serving us with very good, reliable, robust transmissions. The only problem is sometimes they have a gimmicky and weird behavior when they're shifting. However, let's come back to the 8AR. Let me talk about the technologies, the interesting things that you need to know, the bad and the good. So starting with the good. First, this one comes with proper fuel injection. What do I mean? It has a set of 2 fuel injection systems. So you get direct injection and you also get port injection. And you guys know, port injection nakuanga fiti sana for cleaning up your debris behind your valves, carbon buildup. So that side a bit eradicates the carbon buildup. And also it enhances efficiency. So depending with how the car wants to drive, if it wants a lot of power, it switches back to direct injection. If it wants to optimize itself and drive nicely and give you fuel economy, it goes back to port injection. So that is both for cleaning and efficiency when you're running the engine. Now, another good thing that what Toyota hate, but unfortunately Toyota, like, we've seen you guys in Kenya doing it, and you're going to triple. Just not make it even double, we're going to triple. And so what am I talking about? I'm talking about 3 thermostats. So not only did they say they want to give you an extra one, they say let's make it 3. So that ukidelete moja, you still have 2 to worry about. And one thing that I always say, please, mwache mambo ya kudelete thermostats. The owner of this engine or the designer of this engine was not an idiot to give you thermostats. Thermostats are meant to make your engine efficient. Pick it and keep it in optimum temperatures and make it efficient for you in terms of fuel economy and performance as well. So usiwahi jaribu kupiga hiyo deletion ya thermostat. Keep it. Kama imeharibika, just replace it with a newer one and make sure your engine stays healthy and safe all the time. Now, the third thing that is very important, this car doesn't have the kawaida normal intercooler that we're used to. Ile inakuanga hapa mbele, the front mounted or the top mounted. Actually, you won't see anywhere where there's an intercooler or the pipings that work with an intercooler. However, this one has a unique setup, which is air to liquid cooling for the turbo. And so, what does that mean and how does the setup work? If you look at the engine, air comes in through the intake. It goes all the way into the turbo. It leaves the turbo through like a small pipe that is right here. And that pipe is connected to a cooling system that has coolant. So you have 2 coolant tanks. One is here and the other one is here. So the other one is for the engine. The other one is cooling the air that goes into the throttle body yenye iko pale nyuma na inaingia ndani ya engine, and that's how we get boost. So the air in this car is cooled via liquid, and liquid is very good at picking out heat from air and making it cool. Okay, so people believe air, that is good, but I can tell you for a fact, that's why we have even computers that are liquid cooled. Liquid is good at just picking hot stuff from any subject or any matter and keeping it away. And that's why even an engine is running coolant. Haitumii hewa. We will be running air through the engine to cool it. But engineers sat down and say, you know what, you're going to do liquid because liquid is a good conductor of heat or cold, if that is the word I can use, okay? And this is adopt technology to have it on the 8AR. It has its strengths and weaknesses. So strength number 1 is even if you're in traffic, the system is a loop, so it keeps on cooling this car. So you don't depend on air coming through the engine hapa mbele as you drive, okay? But the disadvantage is, again, if you want to drive this car aggressively, that loop cannot keep up with the heating differences in the engine and the way the car breathes when you're hitting it hard, okay? So this car, you see people who are tuning these engines will always find an extra way to have now the intercooler that you guys are used to position hapa mbele so that the cooling becomes now more efficient and proper for hard driving. But for normal driving, this is awesome. It's the same technology you get on Mercedes Benz's like the 270 stock 274 engine. At a BMW kwa B48, they're using the same setup, which is air to liquid. No intercooler, no nothing. Hey, very nice, Toyota, very nice. I'm in love with this, okay? And that is all you get from this engine. In terms of power output, we are getting 235 horses and 350 Newton meters torque. Well, relatively, most of cars in that category will be there. If you are looking at the GLC, it will be giving around 241 horses. If you're going towards the XC60 T5, you're looking at 250. So I believe that range is perfect and awesome. The only difference is GLC you're doing 9-speed, XC60 you're doing 8-speed. On this setup you're having a 6-speed. So there might be a difference in terms of fuel economy. Hapo sawa? And before we get to the interior of this car and talk about how awesome and cool buying a Lexus or driving in a Lexus is, again, part of the few interesting stuff on this engine is the fact that it employs what we call open waste gate management. Now, open waste gate management, what it means in simpler terms, ikiwa kutakuwa na vacuum leak or any pipe has gone bad, the waste gate, which is the turbo actuator thing that controls boost, will stay open throughout, okay? Meaning, hii gari itakuwa imeenda kama limb mode, so you'll not be using the boost system on this engine to drive it. So it will just be like a naturally aspirated engine, again, to protect you and the engine and make it reliable and robust in the long run. So let's check out the interior of this car and see how awesome is the Lexus NX300 F-Sport, and is there any unique element to an F-Sport in comparison to the kawaida NX300 ama the NX300 hybrid. Being a Lexus, of course, you'll expect premium luxury, and they didn't miss out that. So now these seats a leather, Nepal leather to be specific. Nisiposema Nepal leather, Lexus guys will kill me. So Nepal leather, and then this red that you get here is actually unique to the F Sport, and they call it circuit red. Hey, Lexus. Now, even though this car is a 4-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, I'm not getting a huge transmission tunnel, which means the guy who sits in the middle will still enjoy a bit of, luxury when you're driving this car to long distances. Now, coming back to these seats, I wish they will be a bit slightly sunken because I still have like a small space here when I'm seated, which will make me get tired a little bit over long distances. Now, the design of this car kind of slants towards the rear, so the headroom will be slightly bad if you compare it with the GLC and the rest of the other cars like the XC60. However, because this car is slightly longer and the management in the cabin is good, you'll get a very good leg room and overall space. Okay, you have a drop-down armrest with 2 cup holders, but you don't get anywhere to store anything here. That's the only bad thing. And then you have your 2 ISOFIX points on this side and 2 ISOFIX points on this side. But the beauty of this is you can actually recline these seats. See, I can actually adjust it and nakaa kama huyu jamaa, or I can actually do it like that. Okay, leather paddings on the door and where I'm putting my hands with again red stitchings and red leather, and then up you have soft plastic with a kind of a small stitch there in red again to remind you that this is an F Sport. Overall, it's a nice place to be in. I believe I will enjoy driving this car. The only downside is you don't get a panel on this car, or any NX for that matter. I believe this is what you get. So if you get a sunroof, this is how it looks. I don't know whether that is optional or in the future they will change, but for now, on this trim, you only get this car sunroof. Even though on the XC60, the GLC, you can get it all the way paka huku nyuma. So the guys at the rear can also enjoy that. Awesome and beautiful. Now, there's a thing that I don't like, but Toyota keeps on doing it. The guy who sits here in the middle, he doesn't get the strap-on seat belt here side, but he gets this one that, comes all the way from Ukuju. This one here, and then you have to pull it, and now they have, which is, so now it comes in 3. So this one will clip into that. Toyota, but that's how it is done. But that can also be good if you want to strap your seat, your child seat up katikati. However, I don't know. I don't like that, but people tells me it works. And finally, you still have your AC vents here. It's a Lexus, but you don't get a 4-zone climate control, so you only get dual pale mbele na huku nyuma it's a 1-zone. And you don't get anything to control whatever. You only control the air in and out. Yeah, and because Fabian is a good guy, he brought me some mandazis here. So as you prepare to decide what is coming pale mbele, let's meet at the front. I told you, this is an F Sport. So the circuit red is still on the front seats and it looks very nice, dope, and amazing. Now, being an F Sport, of course, the seats are also bucket-like, so they tuck you in. The only thing that I have a problem with kidogo, being an F Sport, okay, I assume it is a good thing because it's F Sport, is the fact that these bolsters, unlike the Volvo XC60, you cannot inflate them or deflate them to hug you in. This is what you get and that's how you sit in. However, these seats are heated, they are cooled and ventilated at the same time, meaning mambo ya kajasho ukiwa na gari ya leather, it's done, okay? That is a good thing about this car. Now, the design of this is quite simpler and it mimics the same look you'll have pale mbele on any Lexus because you have the L things going on, which is synonymous with any Lexus. Then you have your screen. Again, from 2018, this was made slightly bigger to accommodate this new style. Then you have your analog clock, yenye ala nasemanga okoloko, iko hapo, which is very nice and beautiful. And then you have these dual zone climate controls, one for the fan, one for the direction. Then this one, if you look closely, they have the L in it, again, to just mimic the Lexus L that you get on this car. Beauty and awesomeness. Now, coming down here, you get a simpler drive system. Now, remember I told you that this car has adaptive variable suspension. Yes, it also has driving modes. So you can actually change. Let me power this car on so that you guys can see. Then when you power the car on, it greets you with this Lexus sound. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, which is, okay, stupid but awesome. Now, on top of the adaptive variable suspension, you also get driving modes. So you have Eco, and then you have Sport, and then you have Sport Plus. And then ukifinya katikati, it goes to normal. okay, which is nice and awesome. You have your auto start stop technology, you have your auto hold, then you have your electric parking sensors with this trackpad here that is used to control the infotainment system. Then you have your maps menu. Of course, all this is geared towards that. Now the gear lever, this one is connected to the 6-speed auto, and it is gated, so meaning you can move it reverse. You see it's moving in a pattern. Then you have drive, then you have manual mode, you can shift manually, and you also have very nice aluminium gray finish paddle shifters, which are very nice. Again, remember it's an F-Sport, so you get these other gimmicks here. The steering is coated with red stitchings with black leather. Again, signature of an F-Sport. Again, it's telescopic, but this one, you can do it electronically. It's not manually like what we had on the XC60. So, it's a Lexus, of course. This one has only driven 40,000 kilometers, so it's low mileage. Very beautiful car, very awesome. Now, there are a few quirks and features here that I love. Unlike the XC60, where you have a lot of plastics, you have plastic at the top, but here you get leather with carbon fiber finish. Very good stitchings. Now, if you're carrying the lady of the house, yourself, you can get a camera to check yourself out. The lady here again gets a camera to check themselves out. And then you get another one here that you can retract right here. And you can also do your, yeah, I'm looking hot. Na mi si mweusi majamaa. You guys were saying I'm black. Mliona podcast yangu ya Gearhouse? Kimbia huko mpate some good vibes, eh? But I'm not black. Ni light walikuwa wameninyima. Kalasinga na vanilla. Jamaa chocolate vanilla. Light ndo walinyima. But you get the idea. So you can retract that again. Do it 2 cup holders. Then you have an extra storage compartment here. It's very good space. Okay. Very awesome. Then you have USB charging ports and all that. However, this infotainment system does not support Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. In 2018, Toyota, please make something happen. Then you have a place you can put your CD, you can tune your radio and volume here. Simple, straightforward. Now, this steering wheel is malfunctional. You have your F-Sport badge, remember there is an F-Sport. Then this one here controls that again. As always, you can go through the modes infotainment system. Then on this side here, you have your lane departure, front and rear collision mitigation warnings. And then this one again, it controls the screen. So this is an analog stroke digital cluster. In the middle, you have a digital display screen that has all the details like fuel economy. Because it's an F-Sport, you can also show gauges like your G-force, you know, your torque and all that, and boost, which is awesome. Okay. Of course, you have your sunroof, which is active. Yeah. And I like the way it feels. And extras, they're actually more extra convenient features. Like, number one, you get your diff-lock, a diff-lock here, which is done electronically. You get a 360-degree camera. You get your heated steering wheel, your auto beam, your blind spot assist on the side mirror. Then you get your automatic electronic tailgate, which can be done there. But signature to F-Sport is aluminum coated. So it's plastic with an aluminium finish. You can only get these on F-Sport. NX300 AMA hybrid doesn't come like this. Very awesome and beautiful. Can we just drive this car now? I am done and tired. It's like I've spent more time talking to you about the interior, which is a Lexus, I understand. But let's drive this car with Gen Z, the Mbugwa Gen Z, and then we see how it drives nicely. And there's some secret that I've left behind. So we'll discuss that kiwa na Mbugwa hapa. Can we do some driving? Yeah, let's do it. So welcome to the driving experience of the NX300 F-Sport. Na niko hapa with the boy who greet to a man, Mr. Rich Boy.
Kama kaida tuko live recording.
That's why we are recording.
That's why we are recording.
Now, Mr. Mbugwa, leo tuko na Lexus.
Tuko Lexus.
One unique thing about this car is, you know, when unajua tu kutoka kitambo, when they are creating Lexus, they are inclining themselves towards the market that appreciates luxury.
Mostly the US market.
The US market, of course. And that's what you are. But this one has a tweak. This is the F-Sport. So it means not only are you getting luxury, but you're also getting a bit of sportiness going on. So kama kwa hizi vitu unaziona ziko na red stitchings, inaitwa circuit red. Sijui hizi vitu niliambia watu na pa leather. Ulikuwa unaniambia ati hii si na pa leather?
Hii si na pa leather.
Niambie inaitwa nini my friend?
It's called Nulux. Lexus Nulux leather.
Yes.
So it's specifically made by Lexus to kind of feel like the real leather,
but it's not. It's synthetic leather.
Yes.
And for what reasons, my friend?
So for the reason why they did that was eco-friendliness per se, because they say that this reduces 65%
emissions, carbon emissions.
It emits carbon emissions. Eco-friendly things, you know, we are suffering a lot here. So hii ngozi ya ng'ombe
hapa ng'ombe hajauliwa kutengeneza.
Ng'ombe hajauliwa, but
kuna vegetarians wako
vegans wako same. So, but there's leather also, because this comes with 5 different colors.
Yes.
And 2 of the options comes with the pure
leather now. Now on a pearl leather.
In a pearl leather now.
Very nice.
Yeah. Then hapo kuna heated and cooled massage.
Hapo sasa ndo XC60
na waya hapo.
But I wish ingekuwa pia na massage. I don't know whether there are options with massage. But you guys tell us in the comments. We don't know whether there are massage options in Lexus. But kama ziko ni fiti. Let me come back to the drivetrain. Sasa hapa mbele tuko na 2-liter turbocharged petrol engine, paired to 6-speed automatic. Watu wapendi CVT. Hapo tuko sawa, si ndio?
Tuko sawa.
Power output nishawaambia. Sasa hii mwenye ametupatia gari ametuambia leo tufanye 0 to 100. But we've done 0 to 100 on a Harrier with the same setup.
And I think you were giving me a reason why we cannot do launch on this car.
Yeah, the hard launches. Yeah, the system that we have pale mbele ya cooling. Now this uses air to liquid cooling, so it doesn't have like a proper intercooler like the one we have. So we can't do aggressive launches. If you do aggressive launches, of course the engine temperature goes up, and it also detune itself, so power inarudi chini. Like it's Toyota being Toyota. It's not meant for that. In case you want to do that, you can do 1 launch, but you can't do 2.
Na mbona waliita F-Sport?
Sasa ni kwa sababu unaweza enda lakini sasa si ya kulaunch hard.
Usifanye tabia zingine.
Usifanye tabia za Subaru.
Ununue SQ5 ufanye launches.
Thank you very much.
This is a luxury car that you sit down, relax, and enjoy the drive.
Now if you want to drive a little bit aggressive, you can. But ile aggressive launches zile za alafu unasimama na una launch, no. That's what the system does not encourage. Because the way the cooling of the air works and the turbo cooling works is air to liquid. So it limits you from doing that. Basically the engine, every time una launch hard, itakuwa ina detune, inapunguza power. So unaanza na 235, the more una launch inapunguza, because the air will become hotter and hotter and hotter. Like that loop you're cooling is not as aggressive.
That's why I'll go with a BMW. You know the BMW, it's like the more you launch it,
the better it becomes. Yeah, for them wanatumia system tofauti.
Upper center console, how do you feel? I feel it's busy too. I feel it's too much busy.
That's what Lexus does.
But it is something I like.
I
might complain.
Yes.
But it is something I like is that you still have buttons. Actual buttons.
Real buttons.
Every single AC. See, like, if you remember the XC60, everything you're operating
on the infotainment. So
ikicrack ni hivyo.
Yes.
At least everything is but on the
Hey, we are kulima mtu wa C200. Hey. Ni shida yake mbuga.
And also they've improved the pad. Do you remember
the pad they improved, but I have a problem with the infotainment. It's not Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. It's still old school. Yeah, but it's an easy infotainment to use.
It's very impressive. It's very impressive.
Naitwanga intuitive. It means you can use it. It's easily like you can. The trackpad is so nice.
It's sensitive. It's
menu yake iko hapa chini, so you can use it so easily. Like haina mambo mob. Straightforward. Alafu napenda response yake, unlike what we had on the small car, the Aeronaute. This one is precise. Like ukiguza tu inakupeleka
to the next option. It's very precise. It's actually it was improved on this version.
Very nice. So let's finish up, Mr. Bugwa. Final thoughts before malize. Umesikia build quality ya gari interior na ride comfort ya suspension. Funny enough, this is the sportier version. So suspension yake imekuwa stiffen for a sporty feel.
So you can feel every rattle in
but you can still feel it's comfortable.
It's really comfortable.
Yeah. But ukichange driving mode yako hapa, kuna driving mode my friend, it is a sport version. So ukienda hapa paka sport, acha niweke sport plus. Iko napaka na sport plus. Kiekelea mguu inaamka. It goes.
And when you go, it gives you good.
Yes.
Averagely,
I'm doing 10.5 kilometers per liter. Skia. And then I'm loving the heads-up display. There's a display a lot of data on the heads-up display. Like uko kama sahi niko na boost pressure.
That's one thing. You can see it over the head.
Yeah, I can see it, and then I can change. Then I have G-force. Yeah. So I can change what I'm seeing there, or I can just go with how I'm driving the car, or I can just go to the RPM, or I can go with. I love the boost pressure. It's nice.
That's interesting.
Yeah. But the build quality is good. The sound cushion is. It's a Lexus. Unajua watu waamini, watu wateremshie. Hiyo ndo kelele. Umesikia? Ni kama tuko nje, ni kama tuko kwa RVR.
Ukifunga
Kifunga
total silence. Silence.
Very nice.
Silence. Before you forget something else, bra.
Yes, very important. Usisahau point ya Lexus tafadhali.
kwa sababu usinyime point.
Acha niongee.
Yes.
The sound system in this car. I mean, it's an F Sport.
Yes.
And you're going to get one of the best sound, how are they called? So this is a company.
These are McLevin sound. Yes. Hebu tujulishie
14 speakers
of proper sound,
proper sound. Wacha tuisikie.
Alafu nataka tuseme ni gani mzuri na ile Hammond Kardon. Weka. Hii ni disco. No. Sikia bass.
Nagoja hapo.
There you go.
This is it.
No. This
is it.
Now, you saw we had the XC60.
It had Hammond Kardon.
Yeah, it had Hammond Kardon. The sound is good, but I feel this one you can clearly pick out every
single string, beats, everything.
Yeah, this is superb.
This is it.
Ile pia iko na 14 speakers.
Yeah,
Hammond Kardon, but this one
but
again.
I love the Hammond Kardon in the XC90s.
The XC90 inakuanga na Bose and
Winkins. No, that one is another level.
Now that one is on the same level as
this one.
But the Hammond Kardon
mjaribu.
Acha tusiongee. Out of 10, Mr. Bobo.
For me, my last remarks is, before we give my marks, I feel Lexus ticked almost all the boxes.
Yes.
In terms of luxury, in terms of peace of mind, pale kwa engine.
100%.
But I'll be honest, Ibra.
Yes.
I was doing a bit of research.
Yes.
And the parts, especially the body parts,
yes,
they are not cheap.
Yes.
They are not
wachana na hata Lexus hii. Hata Harrier. You see?
The grill itself,
yes,
it's 165,000.
Thank you very much.
The side mirror is 75,000.
Yeah. Waambie watu wa Toyota.
Front headlight is 185,000.
Kwanza ni cheap.
You're cheap.
Let me tell you, there's a misconception that Toyotas are cheap. No. They're just easy to maintain.
Maintenance
and buying parts is two different things. This is a very expensive car in case you need to buy parts. Juzi likuwa tunaimportia mtu headlight ya step wagon. Iko mia kendo. Umeget? Yeah. So, people need to understand the difference. It is a reliable car to drive because it will rarely break down commonly. And that's why it saves you money. But if it breaks down, ama headlight yako inaenda, you're going to pay premium, even more than a guy who has a GLC, especially on a Lexus.
The lens itself, you see that lens that is on front?
Yes.
45,000. Lens, hata hujanunua light. But anyway, for me,
kwa hiyo hasira nipatie max.
Kwa hiyo hasira, si hasira sana, but I'm just a point, just NB. Pale nakumbuka tukiandika notes pale, not better.
A or B.
Ilikuwa not better,
yes.
NB. It is parts are expensive.
Yes.
Other than that, I love the car. So for me, I'm giving it a clean 9.5.
9.5.
9.5 bana, even bamba.
Okay.
Sunroof hapo bana.
I mean, I think this car is perfect in all ways possible. It is a luxury car that gives you a lot of performance aspect, and at the same time, it's durable and reliable. But whoever is going to buy this car, just like the person who will buy a Mercedes Benz, they know they are buying a premium brand, and they can afford to buy. You see those things you've said? I believe anybody who buys this can actually afford to buy those. So for that, mi naipatia a clean, I don't know where, sijui mali ya kunyima hii gari max. For me, it's a 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10?
Yes, it's a 10. It is an absolute value for money. Considering a GLC will be like 6 point something, Mike, you know.
This one is 5 point?
This is 5.2.
5.2.
Yes.
Kwanza Geo story tufanyie value for money.
Acha tufanye value for money. Value for money. So let's talk about value for money. So how much will this car set you back? Kimbia pale KDG Imports nawambia unataka kuinunua. This car will set you back only 5.2 million Kenya shillings. Now, remember my introduction. If you're looking for luxury in a package, but you want it with top-notch reliability, then you buy yourself a Lexus. You don't miss out on anything on a GLC. You just get it in a package that is more reliable and easy to maintain and relatively known to every Kenyan on the road. And that's what the Lexus stands for. It doesn't miss out on what it offers. Number two, if you're buying the GLC, you're going to spend anything above 5.6 million Kenya shillings, all the way even to 7 million, depending which GLC you're buying.
and which trim, okay? I've seen guys selling even a 2-liter GLC at 7 million, and I'm surprised that somebody will pay 7 million to buy a GLC. However, previously we had the Volvo XC60 here, which was a diesel, and that will set us back 4.85 million Kenya shillings. A petrol variant will also do 5.2. Same category, same price as this one. Now the question is, does this car provide a proper value proposition? Yes! For the Kenyan market and what we are known for and how we drive our cars. Because for us, we believe reliability is equals to abuse. And if there's any car that can take abuse and handle it comfortably within our Kenya roads and still give you luxury and still give you a sporty vibe when you're driving it, nothing does that better than the Lexus NX300 F-Sport. So yeah, this car is absolute value for money. The good thing is, the resale value iko huko juu. So in case you stay with this car for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years and you want to sell it, you still get a customer for it. Because it's a Toyota and it's a Lexus. That's all from me and the entire team at Conversation on this special episode of Conversations Kanisa. See you next week, mid next week. Yeah. Bye. Yes. Eh? Sawa.